name is Gus O'Donnell. I am the chairman of Pro Bono Economics and a former cabinet secretary. I am here to welcome you to the Royal Society and to Pro Bono Economics' 10th annual lecture. Those of us who studied John Maynard Keynes way back all thought that listening to his early writings, we will by now be doing 15-hour weeks. Something's gone wrong.
Let's hope we can do a little bit tonight of agenda setting by discussing how the third sector might be reshaped by the fourth industrial revolution. At present, the contribution the third sector makes to our economies, and in particular to our societies, goes very largely, completely unmeasured. That, I think, is a little short of a scandal, isn't it? I mean, it's a particular type of scandal, a statistical scandal, but a scandal nonetheless that we have no idea. And if we are to reach good decisions on resources, societally, in individual charities, across the sector as a whole, that measurement gap really does need to be filled. There are out there some new, some thrusting, some large charities right at the technological frontier. But there are, at the same time, a long lower tail who have not yet fully benefited from the full fruits of even the third industrial revolution, never mind the fourth. Over the past 200 years, it shows the pattern of the average working week in the UK. And the shifts there have been pretty dramatic, I'm sure you'll agree. It's still well above where Keynes thought it would be at this stage. But what Keynes got wrong was not the trend, just the timing. On a tech-propelled view, the working week might well be below 25 hours by 2050. That means we each will have an extra 5 to 8 hours each working week to play with. Survey evidence, attitudinal evidence, strongly suggests both young and old want purposeful pursuits. A survey that PBE itself did with YouGov asked people this very question. If you had an endowment of extra time, how would we use it? And more than 40% said they would use it to volunteer, to take part in charitable activities of various types. Well, I hope that's enough to get us started the conversation this evening. And indeed, not just this evening. I hope some of this we might be able to take forward in the years ahead.
I really welcome his lecture. I think we're well endowed as a country with a strong third sector, fantastic economists, great statisticians and scientists, but we do very badly at joining the dots.
Not all charities are small. Not all of our public sector investments are small. And so for the larger charities that do have national reach, international reach, scale, that have a little bit more experience, that have technology to invest, I think there you could actually challenge the ones that are at scale to do more.
How do we mobilize new tools to stop the kind of algorithmic problems of Facebook, of a world where, in the words of the chief data officer there, the best minds of the generation were focused on click-through adverts?
Any organization has something that it's good at and that it's distinctive at, whether it be for public or private sector purposes. That's the place to start.
Civil society, the charitable sector, in some ways emerged to fill the cracks and the gaps in the social fabric from previous industrial revolutions. And this one will be no different, except the cracks and the gaps will be even larger.
People's motives for giving time or money are very complicated. For some it is pure love. The word amateur is one expression of that. For some it is duty. For some it is a way of meeting people because they're lonely or finding a date. For others it is a way of getting skills.
The nature of work is also changing, and even the tasks that you're doing today, how you think about managing a charity and looking after the care and well-being of your objectives is going to change. And you have to innovate in ways that accounts for the fact that 30 to 40% of work, as we traditionally defined it, charitable sector, private or public, is also going to change.
I
think it's important that small organisations in the charity sector and third sector embrace change. I think it's frankly inexcusable if we know about the fourth industrial revolution, if it's taken off in big business and across the board, why are we going to wait and let the third sector just be again the last to appreciate this?
Charities need help to be able to access the opportunities offered by the fourth industrial revolution. So the help that we need as charities is help to access the skills around data, skills around technology, skills around digital. There is vast competition for those skills already, and charities aren't necessarily at the front of the queue. So we need help to be able to access those skills in a way that's meaningful both for the charities and also for the volunteers themselves.
This debate's important because, commensurate to the value it provides to society, volunteering is scandalously underinvested in by almost everybody from top to bottom. There should be a cabinet minister for volunteering, and there isn't.
One of the things that the charity sector does is really, more than any other part of the UK society, is really change people's lives.
This is a unique perspective. I've never heard this way forward before, and I think it's incredibly important to engage people's civic awareness in a way that takes us beyond just work and income.
This evening I think has been a real game changer in the way we think about the work of pro bono economics and how we add value to the work of charities. And that's really about enabling them to capture the value of the work they do through understanding their data and using that to improve the services that they deliver to people on the ground.
The third sector is also playing a really important role in society, and I sense that it'll play an increasingly important role. And so knowing that the impact of technology and AI can have positive outcomes for the third sector is just really important.
It's going to be a very competitive society in the future, both for people's skills and also their time. And I think charities have an awful lot to offer in both of those areas, and we really need to start engaging people in society into thinking creatively about that.
The 10th anniversary is important because it illustrates how the economics profession and analysts are applying their skills at scale to help the organizations and people who are most at the front line of what we need in British society. And the fact that Pro Bono Economics has been doing that for 10 years successfully in collaboration with many other organizations is a terrific track record. We know there's much more to do, but we've got a great record to stand on.
So to protect and expand those services that we value so much, whether it's coaching a child who's struggling with their science GCSE or helping families cope with the fallback from domestic abuse, we at Pro Bono Economics need to scale our work in the face of unprecedented demand, and we need to do it now. So what will it fund? More funding will enable flagship projects like our work with Place to Be, like our work with the British Science Association, which show massive benefits for a relatively low level of investment. It will also, and this is really, really important, it will expand our early stage advisory work with charities, helping them to get to grips with data and what it means to measure and manage it. And perhaps most importantly, it will invest in a new stream of work to enable us to roll out training both to charities and volunteers so they can more easily engage with some of the quite challenging topics we work on. And finally, evenings like this don't come for free, both all the work that goes into it and the provision of the event itself. So I would like to thank Nomura, our sponsor, for the third year running, and our partners, MediConnect and YouGov.